My name is Reverend Koshin Schomberg. I'm abbot of North Cascades Buddhist Priory, which is a monastery in the Soto Zen, or Serene reflection, a tradition of Buddhism in Washington State. My master is Reverend Master G.U. Kennett, who died in 1996. And I and the other priests of our monastery are trying to pass on what she transmitted to us over many years of generous and compassionate care and instruction. The purpose of these talks is to provide an introduction to our practice of meditation, which we call serene reflection. Can also be called silent illumination. The Japanese words are shikantaza, meditation. The idea for doing these talks really has been simmering away for some years. A number of individuals, some of my students in particular, have suggested that we might make use of the internet to do some videos of Dharma talks or some videos of meditation instruction. But this never really came up for me as something that's important to do until very recently, when we started our Jizo Springs Buddhist Supplies business. It just occurred to me that, well, we're selling the cushions, we're offering meditation benches, wedges for helping people sit in meditation if they use a chair, and it would be nice to provide some instructions on how to use them properly, at least from our point of view. So that's the purpose of this series of talks. At least that's where the series of talks originates, or has originated, in my own thoughts. Where the series of talks might go, however, remains to be seen, and I'm going to just try to follow my intuition, follow what comes up for myself and other members of our community and of our lay congregation as being helpful points to make about the practice of meditation. For anyone who is considering doing a practice of meditation and who has not done so before, or who has tried it rather haphazardly under maybe various teachers or various traditions, maybe as a form of more health-oriented practice, whatever one's background with it, if you're considering doing a serious practice of meditation, then the best thing I can tell you two things which I think are both equally important. The first is that you need to trust your own intuition, your own sense of what it is that is good for you to undertake. There's all the difference in the world between doing meditation as a serious spiritual practice and doing it for the purposes of benefiting health. If one is considering doing it as a spiritual practice, then one really needs to be listening to something inside oneself and trusting one's instinct. Similarly, if you're going to do it as a serious practice, you may start out on your own. You may use a video like this or books to help you get started, as so many of us have done, I myself included. But sooner rather than later, if you're going to do it seriously, then you need to find someone who can teach you. There's no substitute for a personal relationship With a teacher, there's no substitute for doing some formal meditation with other people, training under the guidance of a teacher. Again, for finding and following the instruction of a teacher, you need to trust your own instinct, trust your own heart. That is what this is all about. You are responsible for the choices you make. You are going to take the consequences. Notice I'm not saying train with me or any other particular individual. I'm saying trust yourself, trust your own instinct, and learn from your own experience. This is a wonderful thing about Buddhism. My teacher so often quoted the words of the Buddha when he said, "The Buddhas only point the way, thou must go alone." We need people to point the way. We need people to train with. We need a Sangha, community of people following in the Buddha's footsteps that we can be a part of, that we can take refuge in, and still we go alone. Somewhere in this series of talks, there's going to be a section, one or more sections, on difficulties that people encounter in the practice of meditation. I encourage you, if you're trying meditation, especially if you're undertaking a regular practice, that at some point you look at this section. It hasn't been made yet, but it will be made. Again, this is going to be a series of talks. You will encounter difficulties. You will encounter things that encourage you. If this is really something that's good for you to do, if it is something that you are following your own heart to do, believe me, you can deal with all difficulties that arise, and you will be given all the help you can possibly ever need, every step along the way. And you will need to exercise your own capacity for faith, your own capacity for self-discipline. We go alone and we are helped every step along the way. These two things do not stand against one another. So it will be my privilege for those of you who watch some more of this to show to you what I can of what is most precious to me in human life. Thank you.